Friends, welcome you all with all greetings, gratitudes, salutations, congratulations. Know that we are doing these 7 things: Veda Parayanam, common sense thought, Mantrocharana, Dhyana Purvaka, Shanti Mantras, Sankalpa, Upanishad Mantra Parayanam, Upanishad Adhyanam with Bhashyam. The Upanishad is Shwethashwathara, 6th chapter, 9th mantra onwards we have to see. In that, the truth alone is glorified for us to get convinced about it, to pursue it, to reach it, to stay with it. Let us be seriously invoking the grace of Parabrahma, Ishvara, Jagannatha, Devatagana, Gurugana, Shastragana. While doing all these things, so that through the development of our Vyaktitva of Lokasevaka Adi, we are doubtlessly, consciously evolving in our spiritual stature. May this happen. May our these tapasyas of 6-7 activities be dedicated for that purpose. Let us start the day with our Veda Parayanam, Chandogya Upanishad, 5th Adhyaya. Let us do the 11th Khanda onwards. Om Atha Veda Parayanam Samavediya Chandogyopanishad Atha Panchamodhyayah Atha Ekadashah Khandah. Om Prachinashala Aupamanyavah Satyayajnah. Om Prachinashala Aupamanyavah Satyayajnah. Paulushirindradyumno Paulushirindradyumno Bhallaveyo Janah Sharkarakshyo Budila Ashvatarashvihi Tehaite Mahashala Mahashrotriyaha Sametya Mimagam Sam Chakruhu Kona Atma Kim Brahmeti Teha Sampadayan Chakruhu Uddalako Vai Bhagavantah Ayam Arunihi Uddalako Vai Bhagavanto Yamarunihi Sampratimamaatmanam Vaishvanaram Adhyeti Tagam Hanta Abhyagachama iti Tagam Hanta Abhyagachameti Tagam Habhyajagmuhu Saha Sampadayan Chakara Prakshyanti Mam Ime Mahashala Mahashrotriyaha Tebhyo na sarvam iva pratipasye Hanta aham anyam abhyanushasani Tan hovacha ashwapatirvai Bhagavantoyam Kaikeyaha Samprati Bhagavantoyam Kaikeyaha Samprati Imam Atmanam Vaishvanaram Adhyeti
तगं हन्त अभ्यागच्छामीति तगं हन्ताभ्यागच्छामीति तगं हाभ्याजग्मुः तगं हाभ्याजग्मुः तेभ्योः प्राप्तेभ्यः तेभ्योः प्राप्तेभ्यः पृथग् अर्हाणि कारयाञ्चकार पृथगर्हाणि कारयाञ्चकार सः प्रातः सञ्जिहान उवाच सः प्रातः सञ्जिहान उवाच न मेस्तेनो जनपदे न कदर्यो न मेस्तेनो जनपदे न कदर्यो न मद्यपो न अनाहिताग्निर्न मद्यपो नानाहिताग्निर्न विद्वान्न स्वैरी न विद्वान्न स्वैरी स्वैरिणी कुतो यक्ष्यमाणो वै स्वैरिणी कुतो यक्ष्यमाणो वै भगवन्तोऽहमस्मि भगवन्तोऽहमस्मि यावदेकैकस्मारुत्विजे यावदेकैकस्मारुत्विजे धनं दास्यामि धनं दास्यामि तावत् भगवद्भ्यो दास्यामि तावत् भगवद्भ्यो दास्यामि वसन्तु भगवन्त इति वसन्तु भगवन्त इति ते होचुर्येन हैवार्तेन ते होचुर्येन हैवार्तेन पुरुषश्चरेत् पुरुषश्चरेत् तगं हैव वदेत् तगं हैव वदेत् आत्मानम् एव इमं वैश्वानरकम् आत्मानमेवेमं वैश्वानरकम् सम्प्रति अध्येषि सम्प्रत्यध्येषि तमेव नो ब्रूहीति तमेव नो ब्रूहीति तान्ह उवाच तान्ह उवाच प्रातर्वः प्रतिवक्तास्मीति प्रातर्वः प्रतिवक्तास्मीति तेह समित्पाणयः तेह समित्पाणयः पूर्वाह्णे प्रतिचक्रमिरे पूर्वाह्णे प्रतिचक्रमिरे तान्हानुपनीय इवैतदुवाच तान्हानुपनीय इव एतदुवाच अथ द्वादशः खण्डः औपमन्यव कं त्वमात्मानमुपास्य इति औपमन्यव कं त्वमात्मानमुपास्य इति दिवमेव भगवो राजन्निति दिवमेव भगवो राजन्निति ह उवाच एष वै सुतेजा होवाचैष वै सुतेजा अय आत्मा वैश्वानरो आत्मा वैश्वानरो यं त्वमात्मानमुपास्ये यं त्वमात्मानमुपास्ये तस्मात् तव सुतं प्रसुतम् आसुतं कुले दृश्यते तस्मात् तव सुतं प्रसुतमासुतं कुले दृश्यते अस्त्यन्नं पश्यसि प्रियमत्यन्नं पश्यति अस्त्यन्नं पश्यसि प्रियमत्यन्नं पश्यति प्रियं भवति अस्य ब्रह्मवर्चसं कुले प्रियं भवत्यस्य ब्रह्मवर्चसं कुले य एतमेवमात्मानं वैश्वानरमुपास्ते य एतमेवमात्मानं वैश्वानरमुपास्ते मूर्धा त्वेष आत्मन इति होवाच मूर्धा त्वेष आत्मन इति होवाच मूर्धा ते व्यपतिष्यत् मूर्धा ते व्यपतिष्यत् यत् मां नागमिष्ये इति यन्मां नागमिष्ये इति अथ त्रयोदशः खण्डः अथ होवाच सत्ययज्ञं पौलिशिम् अथ होवाच सत्ययज्ञं पौलुषिं प्राचीनयोग्या कं त्वमात्मानमुपास्य इति प्राचीनयोग्य कं त्वम् आत्मानमुपास्य इति आदित्यमेव भगवो राजन्निति होवाच आदित्यमेव भगवो राजन्निति होवाच एष वै विश्वरूपा आत्मा वैश्वानरो एष वै विश्वरूपा आत्मा वैश्वानरो यं त्वमात्मानमुपास्ये यं त्वमात्मानुपास्ये तस्मात् तव बहु विश्वरूपं कुले दृश्यते तस्मात् तव बहु विश्वरूपं कुले दृश्यते प्रवृत्तोऽश्वतरीरथो प्रवृत्तोऽश्वतरीरथो दासी निष्को निष्को दासी निष्को अत्सि अन्नं पश्यसि प्रियमत्यन्नं पश्यति प्रियम् अत्यन्नं पश्यति प्रियं भवति अस्य ब्रह्मवर्चसं कुले प्रियं भवत्यस्य ब्रह्मवर्चसं कुले य एतमेवमात्मानं वैश्वानरमुपास्ते य एतमेवमात्मानं वैश्वानरमुपास्ते चक्षुश्चक्षुष्वेतदात्मन इति होवाच चक्षुष्वेतदात्मन इति होवाच अन्धो भविष्यत् अन्धो भविष्यद् यन्मां नागमिष्य इति अथ चतुर्दशः खण्डः
Enough. 13. So we have done 11, 12, 13. Good. 3 enough.
ॐ अथ छान्दोग्योपनिषद पञ्चमोऽध्यायः एकादशखण्डः. Friends, open the book if you have. Look into one of the sites too. Plenty of them are there. Chandogya Upanishad, 5th chapter, 11th khanda together. ॐ प्राचीनशाल औपमन्यवः सत्ययज्ञः पौरुषरीन्द्रद्युम्नो भाल्लवेयो जनः शार्कराक्षो बुडिल आश्रुतराश्विः ते हैते महाशालाः महाश्रोत्रियाः समेत्य मीमागंसाञ्चक्रुः को न आत्मा किं ब्रह्म इति देह सम्पादयाञ्चक्रुः उद्दालको वै भगवन्तः अयम् आरुणिः सम्प्रति इममात्मानं वैश्वानरमध्येति तगं हन्ताभ्यागच्छामेति तगं हाभ्याजग्मुः सह सम्पादयाञ्चकार रक्ष्यन्ति माम् इमे महाशाला महाश्रोत्रियाः तेभ्यो न सर्वमिव प्रतिपत्स्ये हन्ता अहम् अन्यम् अभ्यनुशासानीति तान् होवाचाश्वपतिर्वै भगवन्तोऽयं कैकेय्यः सम्प्रतीममात्मानं वैश्वानरमध्येति तगं हन्ताभ्यागच्छामेति तगं हाभ्याजग्मुः तेभ्योः प्राप्तेभ्यः पृथग् अर्हाणि कारयाञ्चकार सः प्रातः सञ्जिहान उवाच न मेस्तेनो जनपदेन कदर्यो न मद्यपो नानाहिताग्निर्न विद्वान्न स्वैरी स्वैरिणी कुतो यक्ष्यमाणो वै भगवन्तोऽहमस्मि यावदेकैकस्मारुत्विजेधनं दास्यामि तावद्भगवद्भ्यो दास्यामि वसन्तु भगवन्त इति ते ओचुर्येन हैवार्तेन पुरुषश्चरेत् तगं हैव वदेत् आत्मानमेव इवं वैश्वानरगं सम्प्रति अध्येषि तमेव नो ब्रूहीति तान् होवाच प्रातर्वः प्रतिवक्तास्मीति देहसमित्पाणयः पूर्वाह्णे प्रतिचक्रमिरे तान् हानुपनीयैवैतदुवाच अथ द्वादशः खण्डः औपमन्यव कं त्वमात्मानमुपास्य इति दिवमेव भगवो राजन्निति होवाच एष वै सुतेजा आत्मा वैश्वानरो यं त्वमात्मानमुपास्ये तस्मात् तव सुतं प्रसुतम् आसुतं कुले दृश्यते अस्त्यन्नं पश्यसि प्रियमत्यन्नं पश्यति प्रियं भवति अस्य ब्रह्मवर्चसं कुले य एतमेवमात्मानं वैश्वानरमुपास्ते मूर्धा तेष आत्मन इति होवाच मूर्धा ते व्यपतिष्यद्यन्मां नागमिष्य इति अथ त्रयोदशः खण्डः अथ होवाच सत्ययज्ञं पौलुषिं प्राचीनयोग्य कं त्वमात्मानमुपास्य इति आदित्यमेव भगवो राजन्निति होवाच एष वै विश्वरूपः आत्मा वैश्वानरो यं त्वमात्मानमुपास्ये तस्मात् तव बहु विश्वरूपं कुले दृश्यते प्रवृत्तोऽश्वतरीरतो दासीनिष्को अस्त्यन्नं पश्यसि अत्सि अन्नं पश्यसि प्रियमत्यन्नं पश्यति प्रियो भवति अस्य ब्रह्मवर्चसं कुले य एतमेवमात्मानं वैश्वानरमुपास्ते चक्षुष्वेतदात्मन इति होवाच अन्धो अभविष्यत् यन्मां नागमिष्य इति ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः. After our Vedic chanting, offering it the feet of Rishi Parampara, asking them to bless us with the wisdom of this Vedic literature, knowledge, entering into our second simple topic of common sense thought, that if at all we are convinced about our inner journey towards the innermost core of our personality is equal to our real self is equal to the substratum of the entire world. It is by our own choice slowly we have to pull away from the outer world to become introverted. That is what is today's simple one liner, a common sense thought. From this moment onwards, let us do the opposite sankalpas to the sankalpas which we were doing so far, which were contradictory to the inner journey. If at all we want the inner journey, if we are not convinced about our inner journey, we are not fortunate at all to begin our Adhyatmic sadhana. So if you and I, some of us, if we really feel that, let me become Shanta, let me become Antarmukha, let me travel inside me, let me slowly, slowly go from gross to the subtler to the subtlemost. If these things are understood so far, with the help of our so far studied Shastra, then it is in our choice. What were the earlier sankalpas we used to do? Opposite of which we have to do now. Today's thought. The earlier sankalpas were ki I must be Bahirmukha. We don't use that language, but we always tend to open our senses, open our mind only to go out through them into the world and embrace the world, interact with the world, etc. etc. And while coming back from the world, we gather all the things from the world into ourselves. That we were doing definitely because we were not convinced about the inner goal. Now, once we know the inner self is our goal, how much of tremendous antarmukata, antardhyana, antarekagrata required, to be able to do the expected Atmanatma Viveka Adi sadhanas. How much steadiness we require for a continuous, constant period of time. How much the mana has to become so shanta. So this habit was valid when we were worldly, not spiritual. Now we are spiritual. So we have to slowly, choicefully have to reduce. Both the things we have to do. I will no more enter into the world unnecessarily. I have to be within myself only. Everywhere this is so. A newly job joined youngster. He cannot just, loiter here and there as he was before he got the job. Now he'll have to be disciplined, stick to that work which is given to him. A student or young boy, child, 2 years, 3 years child, when he's put in the school, now he cannot be as earlier, do whatever he wants. So there, go to school with co-children, listen to that whoever the teacher is there, whatever. He cannot have that earlier unwanted freedom. Everywhere. Once married, yes, be in that in-laws place. If you are daughter-in-law, as the case maybe doesn't matter. Then that family is my family now. Respect them, value them, take care of them. तो हर जगह पे हमको लक्ष्य बनता है तो towards the लक्ष्य, what to do to achieve it, that alone we are supposed to do, isn't it? A good amount of bank balance I have to have. I can't depend on others. Taking loan, etc., is the most worst things. Therefore, I will minimize my expenses. Every rupee I account. I won't buy anything out of fancy, out of competition with others, in a, what you call, with my non-thinking. No, I have these things. They will work for me for 4 or 5 years. I don't need to buy anything. Let this money be saved. Think about it. How many intelligent people that way, by rupee, they accumulated, and then the long-lasting permanent things they got for themselves. What a beauty. Many don't know that. Therefore, they earn per month 3 4 lakhs. Still, they don't even have a own house because they don't have that proper budgeting. They don't have the goal basically. Everywhere, this is what we see. So here also, unwantedly, I will not go out of my house into the world of things and beings. So, unwantedly, you know, unless it is too important, I won't. Second, I'll stay there as much as the work requires me to stay. That much only. Third, quickly I come back, but more important is while coming back, all unwanted information I'll not carry with me. As I leave the chapel outside to enter into the house, traditional way, so to outer world outside only. Sparshan krutva bahir bahyan. Bahyan sparshan bahihi krutva. For meditation in the fifth chapter, towards the end, this necessary condition is told by our great Bhagavan Krishna. Gita. So, from today onwards, all the samsarika samachara, jagatika samachara, I won't gather. Earlier, I was feeling the need. Now, I need manashanti with the shantamana, with the help of the Upanishads. I have to do the antarmatana, antaschintana, antarvicharana, then antaratma dhyana. That antaryami Paramatma alone is my lakshya. Therefore, I myself no more gather the news of the world outside now. Even if it is given to me, I'll be very conscious, careful not to receive it. If I am compelled to receive, I take, but then I just keep it aside. If we want to become antarmukhi, mukha, if we want to realize the inner self, this is necessary for everyone, isn't it? Why those great yogis, महात्मा, साधु, संन्यास सब छोड़कर वो जंगलों में क्यों जा रहे हैं? है ना? They were also like us once upon a time. Serious, sincere, but then struggling to become introverted, staying in the same world of tempting to be extrovert. They struggled, they seriously struggled, they failed. Thousand times they tried, they failed. Finally, they understood it cannot be taken for granted just like that. There is no way. We will go to such place where even if we want, there is nothing which will attract us to make us bahirmukh. You know that is the thing because of which they go that way to those places to protect their antakarana from the bahya jagat for focusing it on the inner self. All of that if we have the inner self as the goal. Few of the hints are what key, yes. In this world, few responsibilities, duties we have. Finish them. There's no doubt. Nobody will say, give them up karke. Even Krishna said, pehle apne duties kar. Beyond that, we have to pursue our inner substratum self-truth. Human life is given for that purpose. Bhagwan will be more happy when we that way grow spiritually. Okay. And secondly is what? This world, the worldly happenings, endlessly because of each individual's, wisdom or ignorance or the total group's wisdom or ignorance, the actions, the results keep on happening. Okay? They will not just like that, stop. They keep on happening. They are endless. Is there somebody who is ready to listen to us? Is he asking us? And do we have sufficient intellectual data to tell them the right thing? And have we ourselves practiced it? Then only we have the right to go and advise. Or else let us be busy. See, today we saw these 4 5 people who is Atma, who is Brahma in that inquiry. They want to know nowadays. This Audalaki Aruni is trying to know the self. Let us go and ask him. All of them go to me. He says, "Mujhe bhi nahi pata." Let all of us go to the other guru. That's how they reach there. No, just no visa. So we have a lot of inner journey to do. Therefore, the outer samachara, the political samachara, cast your vote. Just become aware of some ideas what's happening and pray that let the leaders, rulers, the ruled, both of them be disciplined. इतना कर दो बस. Because अंदर का जर्नी हमको करना है. That is the underlining point. And the weather's change, the pandemics come, whatever minimum that we can do, do it. But quickly go back within. We will see that in our tomorrow's Gita shloka. Yada samharate chayam kurmaha angani iva sarvashah. Otherwise, क्या है ना? All samachara of which we don't have any relevance, we gather. That becomes a bad habit of being extroverted, and that samachara collection only we have the right. After that, you cannot throw it away. At least for a few minutes, few hours, maybe few days, that disturbs our mind. That few days are gone, isn't it? Not allowing us to do the deep inner intense sadhana. Anything for that matter. Things are millions that are happening. And in today's world of all science, technology, information, broadcast, everywhere in anywhere in the world, what's happening, we will be able to know. बट एक तो बात यह है ना, हर जगह वही होता है जो हमारे जिंदगी में हो रहा है. कोई खास नहीं होता, कोई विशेष नहीं होता जानने का. थोड़ा ही मेच्योरिटी हमें लेना है. The other type of people who are worldly, who are more social, those who want to be a part of the world, to serve the world, to set the world in right direction, to integrate it, उनके लिए तो everything they have to become aware of. You understand? That's a big work. But all that bahirmukha sadhana, bahirmukha karma it is. If you are interested, go for it. We are not stopping. But if at all we are convinced about the Upanishadic truth, then if we want to be inside, this is the way. Not knowing it, you and I, especially the Upanishadic students, how much we are gathering outer information, which is of no use or no need at all, and keeping always our mind engaged in the Vahe Jagats, Vastu Vyakti, Shabda Sparsha, Rupa Gandha. That's why this knowledge we gain in the Upanishad, वो टिक नहीं रहा, है ना? उस पे हम ध्यान नहीं दे पा रहे, वो पूरा समझ में नहीं आ रहा. That's why the beauty of that is not being convinced by us. Therefore, the deep intense desire that self we have to realize it's not so much happening that we are able to sacrifice everything to do that inner sadhana. थोड़ा सा इसमें हमें सोच लेना है. There is nothing imposed on, there is nothing compelling. Just think about it, isn't it? How much of the samachara of how many varieties we gather, and what is the maina of that importance in that. हो ही रहा है, चल ही रहा है. Sports going on, साइंस गोइंग ऑन, पॉलिटिक्स गोइंग ऑन. अब जो 20 साल पहले इतने चाव से हमने सारा न्यूज वगैरह गैदर कर दी, डू दे हैव एनी वैल्यू नाउ? बट दैट टाइम वाज वेस्टेड. दैट टाइम 10 साल पहले का, 1 साल, आजकल तो पिछले एक हफ्ते पहले का न्यूज भी मीनिंगलेस. कल का भी व्हाट्स द थिंग, isn't it? We are not there. If we are there, then we do our work. We are given this sacred job of studying deeply the Upanishads and do that sadhana and realize the self. For those who get convinced about this, for them, this can be a helpful thought. And this has to be consciously, deliberately done. And if somebody asks you about the entire world's general knowledge, if you get humiliated by them, defeated by them, because of your reply that I don't know anything, nothing wrong. You are knowing the spiritual truth. You are understanding the deeper inner intricacies. What are the panchakoshas? Why they are given? What is their requirement for us? How they have to be integrated? Isn't it? How they have to be utilized for the inner journey. About these things, those people do not know. We know this one. This is good, no? All like these questions asked by these people, Atma kaha Brahma kim. This is a higher inquiry. So today's main thought is Bhakya Samachara Sekarana. Kam karo. Isn't it? Basic general understanding to hoga hame with this maturity. And then we see some terrible things, horrible things, and we blame the God, we blame the people. अरे भाई ये तो होता ही रहता है अनंत कोटि ब्रह्मांडों में there are big planets only clashing with each other. What will you do? You understand? So many things are happening in the world, not in our control. Let's mind our inner business. Our always contribution to the totality is we do our swadharma. We don't trouble for our own selfishness or ego anybody around. With that, our job ends. As we realize the self, then the Lord, the Ishvara Parameshvara, may use us for some of his work if our upadhis are fit. वो बात की बात. तो फिलहाल तो एक तत्व like yesterday, we chanted, but today we are going to study in Yoga Vasishta when Leela so beautifully asks Mother Saraswati, please tell, oh Mother, what is the upaya, what sadhana I have to do to establish in this? What is the jnana abhyasa I have to do? Beautiful. The mother says, Tachintanam, Tatkathanam, Anyonyam, Tat Prabodhanam, Etadeka Paratvam sa Paratvam cha Atma Abhyasa Vidurbuddha. Wonderful. So, in this way, protecting our antakarana from the onslaughts of the unwanted things that are happening in the outer world, which enter into us because of our own value giving value to them, our own inadvertence. Let us avoid and protect our antakarana. Let it be going inside deeper and deeper. Feel for that stage that in every of the Upanishad, whatever the sadhya sadhana told by the Guru there, I am the experiencer of that. ये गोल होना चाहिए हमारा, है ना? I am the experiencer of that. Whatever the Upanishad, I have done my sadhana. I withdrew myself from the outer world. These are called nivritti marga to realize the inner substrate. That is the mukti. In the pravritti, there may be a temporary successes, good worlds we may go to, we may get some greater wealth, etc. But all that is always endful only. More so, from a higher Vedantic standpoint, it's all Veshti and Samashti, mind and Maya kalpita. ये तो हम उपनिषद दूसरे भी पढ़ रहे हैं ना, वो सब में ये बातें आ रही हैं. So, main thought is this, in what way if you think you get convinced, you do it. But help yourself. I'll help myself. Isn't it? Feel that the Prakarana Granthas, the Gita, the Shastras, the Jnanam given in them should be my property. Let me revel in that. And see that in that Gita class, दुःखेष्वनुद्विग्नमनाः सुखेषु विगतस्पृहः वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितधिः. We studied that shloka. But till we reach back to the class next day, how many times that shloka has been remembered by us, contemplated by us? 24 hours. What have we done? Think. If not, just loitering with our mind in the world outside, in the unproductive things. They may be useful for others. For we, the spiritual seekers, ours is inner journey, no? है कि नहीं? So, the Upanishadic mantra, है ना, न तस्य कार्यम करणंच विद्यते, न तत्समश्च न तत्समश्चाभ्यधिकश्च दृश्यते. देन परास्य शक्ति ही विविधैव श्रूयते स्वाभाविकी ज्ञान क्रिया बल क्रिया च. We studied yesterday. Did we meditate on that? क्या किया फिर दिन भर? Those who have come for morning class, है ना, and not feeling that ये गलती हमने क्यों किया. With them we are discussing. Also in that Mandukya Upanishad. What a powerful, beautiful mantra. You know, जात्याभासम चलाभासम वस्त्वाभासम तथैव च अजाचलमवस्तुत्वं विज्ञानम शांतम अद्वयम एवं न जायते किंचित एवं धर्माजा स्मृताः एवमेव विजानन्तः न पतन्ति विपर्यये. That shloka today will conclude, then we start the Alata Udaharana. So too in the Saraswati Leela Upakhyana and in that glorious Adi Shankara's Grantha Vakyavritti. आह अनायासेन येनास्मात् मुच्येयं भवबन्धनात् तन्मे तन्मे भगवन् संक्षेपं वद केवलं कृपया वद. तन्मे संक्षेप्य भगवान केवलं कृपया वद. Up to that we saw. Today Guru will explain साद्वैते वचन व्यक्ति प्रतिभाति वदामि ते idam taditi vispashtam savadhanamanaha shruну. Isn't it that outer sacrifice is required for the inner gain? If you feel the outer gain is then obviously it goes without saying that we sacrifice the all inner. Whether we like it or not, the fact is what we have gathered inside alone goes with us. You know? Every moment I live my inner life only, the inner life of my maturity, my knowledge, my practice, my experiences. है ना? Inner life is what is always with us. क्यों हम दम घुट के दुखी होते जाते हैं हमेशा? Because the inner knowledge, wisdom, which is so necessary, we never valued it. You're always बहिर्मुखा extroverted. सोच लेना. Okay? Thank you. Now we'll do our third aspect of the day, Mantrocharana Dhyana Purvaka. Today we will do from the Ganesha Stotram. Out of those three very beautiful mantras, the first one, pure Vedantic mantra, Ganapati as the Paramatma himself. Some of you know that mantra. It has three shlokas. Today we will do the only one. Some other time the other two. The mantra is Om Ajam Nirvikalpam Nirakaramekam Niranandamanandamadvaitapurnam Param Nirgunam Nirvishesham Niriham Parabrahmarupam Ganesham Bhajema. Two more slokas it is got. गुणातीतमानं चिदानन्दरूपं चिदाभासकं सर्वगं ज्ञानगम्यं मुनिध्येयमाकाशरूपं परेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम जगत्कारणं कारणज्ञानरूपं सुरादिं सुखादिं गुणेशं गणेशं जगद्व्यापिनं विश्ववन्द्यं सुरेशं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम. Five more slokas are there. I believe it's an ashtakam. but first three are collected and kept. There are five more mantras. Somewhere I have seen once. Now, Ganapati we know is made by Mother Parvati and she has given the prana into him. And then Ganapati we know Shiva Ganapati Yuddha. Then we know Ganapati beheaded and head transplanted. Then we know Ganapati Subramanya Bhagavan competed. Then Ganapati just by doing circumambulation of mother and father who are Jagata Pitara Vande. He got that Gananam Adipati Padavi. We know he finished Mushikasura. We know he finished Gajasura. He has got Riddhi and Siddhi. So if you read Ganapati Purana, how many Ganesha stories are there? All of them are to tell us first of all that Ganapati Bhagavan is very much there. Second, to tell us that he is Sarvagna, Sarvashaktiman, Sarvavyapaka. Therefore, to tell us that we can take the help and support and Kripa Karuna of him through various upasanas for our life's safety, security, all that. That's how a huge group of Ganapati followers are there. They are called Ganapatyas. Those who follow Lord Surya as their Ishtadevata, they are called Sauryayanas. Those who follow Vishnu, they are Vaishnava. See, this 1 month, the Vaishnava Bhaktas all over, India, especially Dakshina में, सुबह 4 बजे उठकर Lord Krishna's upasana they do. It started yesterday, Margadi Maso. Then the Shiva Bhaktas, they are called Shaivites, you know, Shaivas. Then those who worship the mother, they are called Shakta. Those who worship Bhagavan Subramanya, they are called Kaumaras. So Kaumara, Ganapatya, Shakta, Shaiva, Vaishnava, Sauryayana. Those who follow Surya are Sauryayana. So these are all, that's what Shanmata Sthapanacharya Namaha, Bhagavan Adi Shankaras. One of the name is Ashtottara. He is the one who gave us guidance of these six devatas upas. These are all required. But later on, we have to come to the next level. That all these devatas whom we have worshipped so far, I, the one who is worshipping him, he is that one Brahman only. Without that Brahma Jnana, neither that particular devata also got mukti. You know why Ganapati is mukta? Because he knows he is Brahman. If not, as a Ganapati, he always have competition with other gods. How come all these devatas, rishis don't quarrel with each other? Because they know whatever they are with the upadhis only in the outer world. But within, all of them know that I am Brahman. Isn't it? Like in other religions, except our stupid Hinduism. Outside, how many other differences they have? Finally, they say we all belong to this one religion. Therefore, they get together anywhere in the world. These are the only stupid religion, Hindus. More than uniting with this one Sanatana Dharma religion, we divide ourselves with the caste and the language and culture and dressing, all nonsense we have. Anyway, so all our devatas are basically Brahma Swarupa. Do you have any doubt in this? Here, the Ganapati also, for us, we worship him for removal of Vigna. We worship him for the giving us, to give us the Riddhi, Siddhi, Buddhi, Jnanam. We ask him to be with us always, in all our outer pursuits when we were doing. Now, the same Ganapati is none but Sakshat Parabrahma. And that Parabrahma is me. In that way, I am doing bhajana of Ganapati as Parabrahma and I am doing bhajana of Ganapati as Parabrahma my own self. This shloka talks that. है ना सगुण का करते रहो उपासना बट निर्गुण में भी आते जाना we are doing every day saguna mantras so slowly we have to enter into the nirguna also again we'll see them. We make use of both the things. We don't miss any, like an intelligent fellow. He makes use of all his friends. कोई stupid होता है इतने friends है but he never makes use of anyone. I belong to that category. I don't use anyone. हो सकता है talent, ability, you have to have the love, the way to talk to them, and have so many people in the world. But कुछ कुछ लोग होते हैं, they want. Some people are there. So we can be wise enough to invoke the blessings of all devatas, all gurus. Nothing wrong. Enjoy that life. There's no doubt at all. Be friendly to all devatas. And when Shiva comes, don't say, no, 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 I am Krishna Bhakta. Shiva, udar sarakna, mere se kuch sambandh nahi hai. Don't do that. If Shiva comes, welcome you also. He will also give something and go. In the same way, worship Ganapati Saguna Rupena for all that, but know him to be Brahman. You understand? The people, unfortunate ones who never study the Upanishads, they don't know at all about this Adhisthana. And you and I are so fortunate, that through the study of Upanishads, we are revealed intellectually about the presence of unseeable substratum, but experiential substratum, Brahman. My Ganapati, whom I am worshipping, I am worshipping him now to be the Brahman. And my prayer to him is also revealed to me that Brahma Swarupa. Okay? And now the meaning of the mantra. Om Ajam. Ajam means the Janma Rahita, Shashwata, always there. Nirvikalpam, he never became the duality. Nirakaram, there is no specified akara, because wherever there is akara, that akara goes through vikara, then slowly gets destroyed. Ekam, one without second. Niranandam, not depending on the reflected happiness of the worldly things, but anandam, it is the Brahmananda of the self only. Advaita Purnam is the Purna Parabrahma, which is one without second again. Advaita, there is no duality in it. Then Param, Supreme, Nirgunam, beyond all the three gunas. Nirvishesham, there are no any specified Jati Dravya Guna Kriyadi Visheshas to pull him to the level of Jiva. Parabrahma Rupam, such Parabrahma embodied in this form for my sadhana. That Parabrahma in the form of this Ganesha, Bhajema, I am meditating on him. So this Ganapati is Sakshat Parabrahma here for my worship. I have worshipped him, all that is done. Now I am contemplating on him to be Parabrahma with these gunas. Very sublime, but Vedantic, we listen almost every day. Is a more elaboration we are not giving. Enough. Now let us chant for 16 times. ॐ अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दम् अद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम. Niriham word we have not explained. Iha means desire. He has no desire. Therefore, he has no any extroverted activity. He is just available to bless us. Om Ajam Nirvikalpam Nirakaramekam Niranandamanandam Advaita Purnam Param Nirgunam Nirvishesham Niriham Parabrahma Rupam Ganesham Bhajema. Om Ganganapataye Namaha. Om Ajam Nirvikalpam Nirakaramekam निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम. ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः. ॐ अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम. ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः. ॐ अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम. ॐ गङ्गणपतये नमः. ओमजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ओमजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ अजं निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दम् अद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ निर्विकल्पं निराकारमेकं निरानन्दमानन्दमद्वैतपूर्णं परं निर्गुणं निर्विशेषं निरीहं परब्रह्मरूपं गणेशं भजेम। ॐ गणपतये नमः. In a moment's time, when we chant, the Ganapati Saguna Sakara should stand in front of us in our heart. And heartily, with all tears in our mental eye, we should worship him with all Shodashopachara Puja in the 10-15 minutes. Then, through such stuti, we have to not only say that this Ganapati whom I worshipped is Brahman, but that Brahman alone is everywhere, that I am that. Immediately, that experience also should come to us. Till that happens, these chantings of this mantra we have to make use of. Right now, even the shloka only we don't remember. Right now, even Ganapati Rupa also not coming and staying in our heart. That much heart is filled with tamoguna or so many other vasanas impressions. Isn't it? Now we have to fill our heart with kevala Deviya vasanas only. And all through the day, we are only in the Saguna Upasana or Nirguna Dhyana. You know? First realize the self. First be a devotee of this Lord. Achieve this goal. Becoming doctor, lawyer, and all professional. We did all of that. Now become Brahmagnani, become Bhagavad Bhakta. They are really greater and higher. Higher. These beautiful hundreds and thousands of mantras, stotras are so vividly given to us conspicuously by our rishis to take as a alambana and support and grow spiritually. Thank you. Om, 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 Om Sahana Vavatu, Om Namo Brahmadibhyo, Om Yerime Gurubhihi Purvam, Om Shankaram Shankaracharya, Om Nidaye Sarva Vidyanam, Om Shruti Smriti Purananam, Om Vidita Kila Shastra Sudha Jaladhe, महितोपनिषत् कथितार्थनिधे हृदये कलये विमलं चरणं भव शङ्करदेशिकमे शरणम् ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि परब्रह्मणे श्रुतिमात्रे समस्त ब्रह्म विद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आचार्येभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्तब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्यप्राप्त्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थं धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थं श्रीराममन्दिरवत् शिवकृष्णादिमन्दिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरन्तर शास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तर शत्रुविघ्न समूल निर्मूलनपूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वे च अस्मात् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकहैन्दव संस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठावाप्त्यर्थमस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसदिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्म साफल्यार्थम् अनेकशास्त्राणाम् अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये कृष्णयजुर्वेदीय श्वेताश्वतरोपनिषदः आद्यशंकर भाष्य समेत अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मोक्षार्थं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे ओम नित्यानन्दं निराधारं निखिलाधारमव्ययं निगमाद्यगतं नित्यं नीलकण्ठं नमाम्यहम् पारायणम् अथ षष्ठोऽध्यायः Can we chant 13, 14, 15? ॐ नित्यो नित्यानां चेतनश्चेतनानाम् एको बहूनां यो विदधाति कामान् तत्कारणं साङ्ख्ययोगाधिगम्यं ज्ञात्वा देवं मुच्यते सर्वपाशैः न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चन्द्रतारकं नेमा विद्युतो भान्ति कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तमनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति एकोऽहं सः भुवनस्यास्य मध्ये स एवाग्निः सलिले सन्निविष्टः तमेव विदित्वा अतिमृत्युमेति नान्यः पन्था विद्यते अयनाय. Chanting is done. We have done all our 6 activities. The last one now. The main one, the study of Upanishad. We have done yesterday the mantra 8 Samagra Rupena. The mantra was Natasya Karyam Karanancha Vidyate. That Brahman has no the Karya, the Stula Deha, whether individual or the total Virat Rupa. Na Karanam Vidyate. Neither the individual Sukshma Deha nor the total Sukshma Deha of the Hiranya Garbhatva with Mahatattva. In him purely they are not there. Natasya karyam karanancha vidyate. Then natat samaschabhyadikascha drishyate. There is nobody equivalent to him, higher than him, lower than him also. Then parasya vidya, parasya shaktir vividhaiva shruyate. That Brahman, the consciousness has got The Parashakti, and that Shakti is Vividha. And as we saw yesterday in this very class, I think, that in this universe, how many conscious beings, starting from a microbe, up to the Brahmadeva level, they are accomplishing so many things. A small microbe also, it is in its own mission of whatever it wants to do and achieve, and its evolution. You and I may not apprehend it, comprehend it, understand it, but it has its own. Like a youngster going on the road. His only physical body you see from here, but he has his own world of ambitions, desires, pursuits, goals. Nobody in this world, a conscious being, is without projects, goals. A tree has its own goal. It is doing its own best. A bird, in its own struggle to survive, it has its own intelligence. It is trying its own best. It's in search of food for the whole day. Examples like that, millions and trillions of beings are continuously doing something for themselves and also are adding to the world. No, could they do all of that without the consciousness in them? No. Therefore, whose are all those powers of various doings of each of these conscious, sentient living beings? They all belong to that consciousness only. That is his Vividha Shakti, Para Shakti. Para is supremmost, unfathomable, infinite. Vividha is various in expression. See, if my mouth is able to talk, it is the Shakti of the consciousness only. Because if the consciousness were not there, I won't talk. This talk would have not. My eyes are seeing because of the consciousness. The Drishya Shakti of the eye, the Shravana Shakti of the ears, the Grana Shakti of the nostrils, the Sparsha Shakti of the skin, the Rasa Shakti of the tongue, the Gamana Shakti of the legs, the Kriya Shakti of the hands. All of them belong to the conscious Paramatma only. विविधा एव श्रूयते अस्य शक्ति परा विविधा श्रूयते. So to a tree, when it's beautiful tender leaf it has produced, it is the consciousness in it, उसका ही शक्ति है वो. If the small little bud has come, it's shakti of consciousness. And if that bud has blossomed to be such an attractive, beautiful flower beyond the describable words, vividhaiva shruya, asya shakti. Understood? It is the power of that consciousness which is pushing even the earth to rotate around itself and around the sun. It is his Shakti. It is the Shakti of that Chaitanya Brahma. You understand? The entire solar system systematically, existing, fulfilling its existence in catering to whatever, to the other systems or to the living beings. All of that is his Shakti only. याद रखो, ये चोर में चोरी करने का शक्ति भी वो चैतन्य परमात्मा का ही. इस साधु सन्यासी में द पावर ऑफ ब्लेसिंग्स, पावर ऑफ guidance, power of alienating others suffering, that power also belongs to that Chaitanya Paramatma. Today we are very clear about this. Never ever should be any ambiguity later on. Para asya shakti vividha shruyat. Then we saw that is swabhaviki. It is its own swabhava. He has not got lent from somewhere else. लोन पे नहीं लिया कहीं से. उनका स्वयं का है. स्वभाव स्वाभाविकी है ना. And his power, by using the word, this Shakti is Swabhavika to Paramatma. The Sushti Sthitilaya of Paramatma should not be objectionably questioned. It is his Swabhavik. क्यों ये सृष्टि स्थिति लय हो रहा है? वो उनका स्वभाव है. This has come in the first, second chapters also. Swabhava. Okay. What we can do is, when I am with the Upadhi in the world, how to live. That knowledge I must know, so that that way I live and I am safe. Or the Srushti Sthiti Laya I can transcend, become one with it. These two guidances are there to us. These two things we can discuss. But why the Lord has created the world, why He is maintaining, why He is destroying, those questions you cannot ask. It is His स्वभाव, है ना? And in the evening class, to the same question, खामखा एक जगह बैठने के बजाय खामा क्यों इन्होंने सृष्टि बनाई? That question Leela asks. क्या क्या तेरे मन में समाई, काहे को दुनिया बनाई? To that, Mother Saraswati gives the answer for those who are seeing the world. This question is valid. The one who have seen the Paramatma, the Brahman, there is no Srushti at all. Therefore, question is invalid. There is no world created. Everywhere He alone is there, Brahman. That answer is given there. A little lower level is, it is Svabhava, it is His own Shakti. अब आपके घर में आकर, why have you made your house like that? अरे, what right I have to ask? Question. It is your money and your land that you made it. आपके मैं क्यों जरूरत करूं? Why should I ask? हाँ, I can stay as a guest if you allow me. एक छोटा कमरा दे दो. I stay 1 or 2 days, finish my work there and come. This I can do. But I can't. Why did you make house like that? So too, this whole world is Lord. वो अपना बनाया. Who are you to ask? Swabhaviki in that word, once for all, that wrong question is eliminated through that word. Then Jnana Kriya and Bala Kriya also. These two words were so beautiful, isn't it? What is the Jnana Kriya of the Lord? Ki Sarva Vishaya Jnatrutvam. Sarva Vishaya Jnana Pravrutti. Sarva Vishaya Jnana Pravrutti. Means what? When the world is manifest, that Parabrahma is having the jnana of all that is there in the world. Nothing misses. That is his capacity. So too, what is the Balakriya? Balakriya, I really loved it. Balakriya is Swasannidhi Matrena Sarvam Vashikritya Niyamanam. Just by his mere presence, Sarvam Vashikritya, keeping everything in its control, Niyamanam, he puts everything in the Niyama. स्वसन्निधि मात्रेण सर्वं वशीकृत्य नियमनम है ना. But we have funny questions. If the God is there, then why he is not making that fellow disciplined or of good habits? Why he is allowing him to be a criminal, a terrorist? You know, if the really God is there, if he has got all Swabhavika Shakti of Jnana Kriya and Bala Kriya, we ask. The answer is what? That is a process he is doing. This fellow who is a terrorist, who is a Rakshasa, he just came from that Rakshasa Yoni or Pashu Mruga Yoni. Therefore, in him those thoughts will be there. So when he is going through these things, I'll give him the sufficient punishments. Slowly, slowly, he will get molded and matured. Isn't it? मैं उसको ट्रेन कर रहा हूँ, भगवान उसको ठीक कर रहे हैं, वही तो प्रोसेस है ना. These all dushta rakshasas, they won't remain as dushta all the time. Because being dushta is not the ultimate truth. Being shishta alone is the ultimate truth. Therefore, everybody will have to come towards this. And when they are given terrible punishments in Naraka Adi, then they will learn it. Oh, aisa nahi karna chahiye tare. So they are learning. Nobody in this world is without learning, and nobody in this world is away from Paramatma's drishti, and everybody are being monitored by him and guided by him only to grow. ये है उनका बल क्रिया नियमनम. These are all processes. What the problem with us is what? सब झट से फट से हो जाए क्योंकि वो भगवान है, हम ऐसा सोचते. You know, everything has a system. According to the system, it happens. Ah, you understand? We say if everything is Bhagwan's control, Sannidhi Matrena Sanyamanam. Why is he not stopping those earthquakes or volcanoes or these tsunamis? अरे वो बना ही रहे वो जस्ट टू फिनिश ऑल दिस स्टूपिड फेलोज whoever are there. उनका प्रारब्ध खत्म हो रहा है उधर, वो वही कर रहे हो. What is our problem is we imagine something and we think the God should do that what we imagine. But a devotee का अलग अंदाज. He says whatever Lord is doing is correct. He knows, no, Lord is expected to have more wisdom than us. Therefore, he knows what he is doing. Therefore, a bhakta is relaxed. He just says everything my Lord is doing. And little higher step than that, Lord is the Parabrahma himself. That is consciousness. Ajam nirvikalpam nirakaram ekam. Same here is the same Paramatma, Balakriyacha, Swasannidhi Matrena, Sarvam Vashikritya Niyamanam. Okay, this is what was the eighth mantra. Because of this glorious Parameshwaratva Paramatma, he is such a unique one that there is nobody to master him, to order him, to rule him, etc. That thing is said in the next mantra. And all these are of that pure self, which is there as Satchit Paramatma, substratum of everything, including you and I, call the space as empty. In that so called empty space, too, as it's a substratum, that Sat and Chit alone is there. Ah. That analysis of it is what is done. It's from the objectivity, it is made subjective. First, we ask question: where is space? You cannot say where is space outside. Space is in the earth. You cannot say. It's already said. Earth is in the space. You cannot say space is there in those stars. All the stars are in space only. Where is the space to that question? You can never have the answer objective. It has to be subjective only. Space is in my understanding, in my mind as a concept. Dekha? From the space you have to come to the mind only. Oh, how can you say that the space is in the mind? Because when I sleep, where the mind is dissolved temporarily, there is no space. That's why the one who sleeps, he doesn't know whether he's sleeping on the cot or on the ground or in the train or in the bus or in the plane or a road. पता ही नहीं होता. Concept of space goes away because mind is not there. Inasmuch the moment he wakes up, that means when the mind becomes active, immediately concept of space comes into picture. Therefore, it is enough logic to know that the space is the mind's concept. And what's mind? Consciousness objectified. Consciousness taken as something other consciousness, other than consciousness. That's called as mind. Therefore, what is mind finally? Pure consciousness only. Therefore, what is the entire space? The conscious self. If the space is conscious self, everything in the space also is the self only. This is how to our intellect, this knowledge we have to give and strengthen and stay in that knowledge. Okay. Now this Brahman, this Paramatma Tattva, he is that Parameshwara and he is these also. These are all the intellectual understandings to remove the intellectual non-understandings or wrong understandings about Paramatma. जर विद्या कहते हैं इसको. Vidya about Paramatma eliminates the avidya about Paramatma. After all these intellectual things done, finally in the Nirguna Nirakara Rupa as an Atma, as a Tanchit, we have to realize it. ये मेन थिंग कभी नहीं बोलना जिंदगी में. Now, yasmat evam, this being so, tasmat, therefore, mantra number 9. Om natasya kaschit patirasti loke, natasya kaschit patirasti loke, nacheshita naiva cha tasya lingam, nacheshita naiva cha tasya lingam. Sakaranam Karanadhipadhipaha Sakaranam Karanadhipadhipaha Nachasya Kaschit Janita Nachadhipaha Nachasya Kaschit Janita Nachadhipaha. Together. Natasya Kaschit Patirasti Loke Nacheshita Naiva Chatasya Lingam Sakaranam Karanadhipadhipaha न चास्य कश्चित् जनिता न चाधिपः. That pure Sat-Chit conscious existing Brahman in this shloka is denied of having anything other than him. As to you and I as a jiva, we have so many people around us, so too the Saguna Sakara Ishvara to rule us, the control us, govern us, etc. In that pure consciousness, all of them are not there. To that pure consciousness, we have to evolve to. That's called meditation. And what facilitates this meditation is the purity of heart. The heart is impure because of the vasanas of the world, born out of avidya. When the vidya is gained, then Brahman alone is real. When the other side of the coin of the vidya is gained, that other than Brahman, everything is kalpita. Therefore, that should not be valued. In that way, utility value, bhoga value, even the existential value, reality value is removed from the world. The world no more creates the vasanas in my hridaya. That nirvasana, vasana raita antakarana is a fit instrument to contemplate on and realize this conscious self. ये है बात. So na continuation of the earlier shloka na tasya kaschit patihi asti loke. There is no pati for that Parabrahma Paramatma. Pati means padanat rakshati iti pati. Pati iti pati. The one who protects from falling down, the one who protects from all directions. Natasya kaschit patihi asti loke. And that pati to control or sorry to protect that particular being, he'll have to do the ordering of that being. Like that one who takes care of the animals. They are called Pashu. And he is taking care of the animal, therefore he is the Pashupati. That Pashupati will have to control that animals to take care of it. He is the Ishita of those Pashus. That what time to give grass, what time to give the water, what time to take them for grazing, when to give the bath to them, where it has to be stopped from going. Don't we do all that? A Pashu aap jakar dekho. They do so. So too, wherever the boss of a company, he is Pati there. है ना? That through them he'll have to accomplish those given projects. So he is the Ishita also of them, in which he will tell them what to do, he will also tell them what not to do. And he ensures that that's what they follow. But for the Paramatma, there is no Pati, therefore, na Ishita. Second line. Na tasya kaschit patirasti loke, na cha Ishita. Then, naivacha tasya lingam. There is no Sukshma Sharira, Linga Sharira to him, nor any Linga, Chihana, symbol, etc. to him. That through that symbol we can catch him. No Lingam to him. What is to be done then? We drop all our Panchakosha Tadatma, including ego bhava, and just merge in him to become one. That is the only way he can be apprehended. There is no Chihana or Linga or symbol of him that we can catch him through some Anumana Praman. Linga is for Anumana Praman. Like there is a smoke, it's a Chihnam Lingam that there must be a fire. It's called Anumana Pramana. Yatra Dhumaha Tatra Agni. Because earlier there was there, I saw fire in my kitchen, then it gave smoke, then it's established in me. Wherever smoke, there is fire. Though I saw smoke, but not the fire. It's very far. But I can assume that there must be a fire. Anumana Pramana. That smoke becomes linga for that fire. So to so many things. Like the footwear father's bar hai, so it's a linga, chihna, that father is inside. Or the footwear is not there, even the two-wheeler also is not there. So he goes with two-wheeler only. So it's a linga that he is not there, gone out. है ना? Like children at home are very silent. Means the father is at home. That linga. अब वो चिल्ला रहे मतलब people know the neighbors as he is gone to the office. Isn't it? They know it. The linga it is. You know, if that man is inviting his two or three friends and laughingly talking means that's a linga that the wife has gone to the Maika. So for this Paramatma, बेटा कुछ भी करो एक बात आज पकड़ के ले जाना कोई लिंग चिह्न नहीं है which specifically tells that the Lord is like this or like that. Only by transcending the outer Upanama, transcending our Panchakosha, we realize our oneness with Him. That is the only way we know Him. And all other words of His Sattu, His Chittu, His Ananda, these are all again His Swarupa Lakshanas only, but only to guide us to His experience. Other than these three, everything is the Tatastha Lakshana only. He is Akhanda. It is Tatastha Lakshana. Seeing the Khanda Vastus in contrast with that, we call him as Akhanda. Like that, everything is Tatastha. There is no Linga. Okay. Third, fourth line. So Karanam, he is the cause of everything. Karana Adhipa Adhipaha. Karana is instruments. Adhipa are the Adhishtana Devatas. Adhipa is, he is the Adhipa of all of them also. He is the Lord of all the Adhishtana Devatas. Then Nacha Asya Kaschit Janita. There is nobody who produced him. Therefore, Nacha Adhipaha, nobody who can command him that way. This is the literal meaning with Bhashya. The same thing we see. All of that tells us that he is one without second. Nobody to rule him, govern him, control him. He is that. Okay, this mantra with Bhashya. We'll do Athenam tomorrow. Om 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 Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamādāya Purnamevāvasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Paramarshibhyo Namaha Parabrahmane Namaha Shruti Matre Namaha Tatsat Brahmarpanamastu. Thank you for your patience. Join for Gita study.